So, Candice Owens has a book coming up. Or as some people like to call her, Stinky Vagina Candice Owens. We don't know if her vagina stinks, but Dave Chappelle assumes it may possibly. So that's where she got that nickname from. Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
So don't come to me and say that I started. I didn't start this. Dave Chappelle started it.
Shout out to Dave.
Yeah. So she's coming out with a book. I believe it's more going to be about the independent thought of why blacks should leave the Democratic Party and I guess vote Republican. And so she lays out this book, and I haven't read the book, but I have a symptom because I talked to a lot of conservatives that she's going to talk about how the Southern strategy never happened. And people don't know what the Southern strategy is when they say that once LBJ and Kennedy came into office, black people started voting Democrat, and then a lot of Southern whites who were Democrat did not like that, and they moved to the Republican Party. And now the Republican Party that we see today started from that movement. So a lot of Southern racist whites were like, nah, I don't want to be in a party where them ninjas voting. So a lot of conservatives deny that happened, which we're not going to go on. Again, if you're listening to us for facts, wrong show. So she's probably going to talk about that. She's going to talk about how the Democratic Party has promoted a welfare state in the black community. She's probably going to talk about how the Democratic Party takes our votes for granted. Again, all this stuff that she's going to say is going to be probably very, very hints of a lot of good facts and details with the conservative spin. I'm not faulting it. I think it's a great conversation to have when you have two intelligent people that have facts and historical context can have that argument. My argument is with Candice Owens, I think that she is smart enough to know the argument she's making is kind of faulty, but because where she lies on the side, she's going to stay there. So if people don't know about Candice Owens, let's give you a quick snapshot, and I'm going to try to be generous about this and not be biased. One, Candice Owens, black woman. Two, she grew up in a more predominantly white state. I think it was like Massachusetts or Maine or some one of those northern whiter states. She actually was being discriminated against racially by the sons of, I think, the superintendent or principal of her school, or one of them. The NAACP chapter in that area actually helped defend her, and she won a settlement and received money for winning a settlement for racial discrimination. Wow. Up until that point, Candice Owens was probably a bleeding heart Democratic liberal. She actually, I believe, voted, was on Obama's side. I think she was almost pretty much a Hillary supporter up until Trump won, and then she said that I guess Trump spoke to her from his message, and she switched sides and became a conservative. Again, fact check this information. You getting this for real information? Wrong podcast for that. So from that moment on, so pretty much from 2015-16 on, she's been this conservative talk. Well, she's grown to prominence because she's a black woman. She has conservative values. She's attractive. She very intelligent. She's supremely intelligent. I don't think anything I'm gonna say disparaging about her. I want to make sure that everybody understands this. She's an extremely talented woman. And I'm also going to say I'm never going to knock any black woman getting money any way they want to get it. So I want to make sure that's known before I say the things that I feel about her really. So go get your money, girl. I support you.
And tell us how you really feel.
Right. She's really intelligent. Now I'm going to the points of this is that, yes, she has been a weaponized tool for white conservatives to claim they're not racist or they don't do racist things. She's basically been the mouthpiece and talking point to say, oh, the Republican Party, we're race neutral. We want everybody in here when you have the least diversity of both the parties. You have a record of voter suppression. We can go to the list. But they use her as that talking point to say, hey, this is how we're not racist. And she's filled that role and made a lot of money in that role, and shout out to her for doing that. The problem is now she's coming out with this book. So what's going to happen with this book is that it's probably going to hit number one, a New York Times bestseller. We can assume that. And a lot of conservatives are going to use her talking points and use against a lot of liberals. Problem with that is that most liberals don't have great information or facts of history to refute these talking points. And that's going to make this whole situation where you can get a lot of people thinking, oh yeah, why am I a Democrat? Oh yeah, why am I liberal? And moving the needle that way. My issue with Candice Owens is that you know what you're doing. You're too smart not to know what you're doing. You know what these people are doing to you. You say how the Democratic Party uses black people. You are using the Republican Party for your fortune while selling out your people. And if she were to tell anybody that she does not feel that way, I would feel like it's ingenuine because you could pick up any history book and know the truth of everything you're saying, but you choose to ignore. she'll come out with these stats about, how white people kill more of the cops than black people, and white people get less encounters, but you don't acknowledge the fact that black people's encounters are a lot higher, not because of race. She just blames it because of the violence in the area. So she does the Republican scattershot thing. Anyway, it's coming out with a book. Anybody in this room going to get it? Let's start there. Is anybody going to cop this book? I know I didn't give it a great light. I didn't really sell it well enough, but DJ, let's start with you, and we'll come down to Mama Steve. Like, are you thinking this is a book you want to cop to probably see and read what she's going to say?
Negative. not really interested. I mean, based on the facts and the opinions that you just gave me, it just sounds very, like she's really into it for herself, like, just trying to publicize herself and her image, and trying to get what she can out of it for her own well-being,
right?
For the most
she founded what I think it's called Brexit, Black people exiting the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And she has some ties with Kanye West that's kind of murky or whatever. And then her and Cardi B got into a beef, and I think Mama Steve, you got information on that Cardi beef and
yes,
Candice Owens beef.
Yeah, fill us in on that.
Okay, well, hey, I pull up the...
So I know it started with Cardi B sat down with Joe Biden, which people saw, and they had conversations. And so, yeah, let's go from there.
Okay, so the New York Post recently reported about the incident, and basically Owens stated, quote, well, hang on one second. She says, it says here, last week, for instance, she got into a social media tussle with Cardi B in which the rapper told the Trump-loving Owens, quote, "You're getting pimped out by white men." Owens responded, "I love every second of this feud." And then she stated, "I was playing chess and she was playing checkers."
Right. So a lot of that goes into that. Candice Owens said that, Joe Biden doesn't know who Cardi B is. Joe Biden probably doesn't even know a Cardi B song. Joe Biden is just pimping out Cardi B to get to the black people's votes. And my response to that is, isn't that what politicians do?
Yeah.
My second response to that is, where are the conservative Republicans doing the same thing to get the black vote? So you're mad at Joe Biden for, quote unquote, using Cardi B to get the black vote, but you're not mad at the party that you support for not trying to go after the black vote. Like,
your own people.
Yeah. Like the people that you're trying to, quote unquote, move from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party and, quote unquote, awaken them and educate them. Well, why don't you talk to Trumpito and say, hey, Mr. Trumpito, hey, the Breakfast Club is waiting. Because Rush Limbaugh was on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
He did that. He's a staunch conservative. He had to talk with Charlamagne. Joe Biden went on there as a Democratic candidate and did it. Kamala Harris, we can go through the list of people who do it, but why is our president not campaigning in these black area shows or urban shows and saying, hey, let me sit down with these people and do this, but you're mad at the Democratic person for, quote unquote, pimping us out and doing that, but Republican Party won't even talk.
At least it's making an effort.
Right.
Well, the reason why they're not talking is because they have Candice Owens doing it for them.
And there we go.
Think about it. Well, you have to remember we're in an age of day where influencers are a big thing.
That's true.
And if this is their way of utilizing her as an influencer for the black vote, I mean, it's a smart tactic, but that's what they're doing. Is she's going to be the voice of the black community,
so they don't have to put themselves out there.
Exactly.
Or they don't have to answer the questions that they're going to levy against you.
Exactly.
When you do things that are quote unquote anti-black.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate here, but the Democratic Party would do the same thing.
Oh, 100%.
It's just a tactic. You have, you watched the Democratic and Republican conventions.
Right.
You saw all of the people that they featured. You saw all of the people that spoke. You saw with Biden's Democratic National Convention. Excuse me. I'm trying to get the words out because it was a lot of information to take in. Where they talked about the Hispanic family. They were dreamers. The mother came over here with the older sister from Mexico, and she's got spinal bifida, and they're worried that they're gonna have to go back. But here they have the health care that she needs to cope with her disability. It's basically them doing that, but with Candice. Well, I hate saying it like this, but they want to get the Hispanic vote.
Yeah.
Then you have Candice Owens. The Republicans are utilizing her to get the black vote.
Right.
It's a tactic. It's a marketing tactic.
Right.
And, the best advice that I can give to anyone out there that is unsure of who they're going to vote for, you need to come up with what you want to see out of your administration, out of your president, and then you need to do your research on each candidate, a non-biased research, and figure out which candidate is going to, do that for you or wants to do that for you.
Well, then let's roll that into a secondary conversation then. So, Candice Owens made it a point on Ben Shapiro's show to make a comment about celebrities shouldn't enter into the realm of politics, and celebrities shouldn't give their political opinion, basically. Nobody should care what celebrities think about politics. So, Mama Steve, do you feel that way? Do you think celebrities should always steer clear of politics, or what's your thoughts?
Celebrities have a platform. It's their right to utilize their platform however they want.
Right.
I utilize my platform with the Stranger Things fandom to get people out there to register to vote.
Right.
It's basically the same thing. If you bar celebrities from stating their opinion, that's barring them from free speech.
Mm-hmm.
Let them state who they want to vote for. It may not be who you agree that you want to, that you agree with, but they're giving their opinion like you and I are giving our opinions.
Correct.
You don't have to follow what they say.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, if you do your research, that's all you have to do.
Right.
Do your research on each candidate. There's plenty of websites out there. There's plenty of information about each candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And figure out which one you feel that you want to vote for. It doesn't matter what political party that you follow. Mm-hmm. You could be a Republican, but yet the Democratic nominee looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. Or you could be a Democrat, but you like Trump because of what he did the past 4 years.
Right.
It's, it's all what you want. It's what you want, not what other people think.
Right.
Because if you are going to utilize your vote by what other people think, then you're a sheep.
Correct. Yeah.
What about
I'm
you,
sorry
DJ?
to say that, but you are.
What do you think? If Nas is voting Democrat, you voting Democrat then?
No.
Jay-Z? If he voting Jay-Z voting Republican, they didn't make a song called Black Republicans.
I'm going to listen to what Jay-Z got to say, but like, Mama Steve said, I'm going to do my own research.
Yeah.
I'm more willing to listen to Jay-Z than I am Taylor Swift because I'm a huge fan of hip-hop and I like Jay-Z.
Right.
However, I will listen to both, what both have to say, and then I'll do my own research and make the decision that's best for me and my family.
There you go.
And go on from there.
But do you think they have
As
a right
simple
to
as that.
speak politically? Do you think that
Absolutely.
should be... Okay.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and they're going to utilize their platform.
Okay.
Yep.
Just like anyone else.
I'm
but
probably
that
gonna
doesn't
be...
mean that I have to do what they tell me to do
I'm
because
going to be the
I'm a big
dickhead.
fan.
I'm going to be the dickhead. I'm going to be like, I think celebrities should shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Okay, why is that? Whoa. Why?
I'm about to make a fine line here. I'm going to make a fine line here about political situations. I think celebrities should always speak up for social causes, but political ramifications, shut the fuck up. Because you know why I say that? It's so many people in the field who are experts about this that you can use your platform to put on. So if I'm a celebrity and I go, I feel this way politically, I'm going to reach out to like a Dr. Grant Carr for Howard, or I'm going to reach out to a Cornell West, and I'm going to have them speak, not on my behalf, but speak to what I believe in from what they teach, because they're educated in it. And then if it's any backlash, they're educated enough to address that. Where with me as a celebrity, if I say something and it's a backlash, I'm typically not educated enough to address that in all the context. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said they should shut the fuck up. Like, so when it goes to this thing like D.L. Hughley's been pushing very socially. I'm fine with it. LeBron James is pushing very socially. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that because I do think it's a right and wrong when it comes to social issues, because I believe that equality is equality. Freedoms are freedoms. People want to debate that. I don't think it's a debate. I think it's either you support that or you don't. Mm-hmm. That's it. When it's politics, we're talking taxes. We're talking funds. We're talking how is the military budget. We're talking the laws of the land and how it affects disproportionate blah, blah. So for me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I say that for the sense of, you can have a guy like a Ted Nugent, who's on the opposite side of the fence, talk that talk, but most liberals won't go after him. But if it is a Cardi B, who's typically liberal, they'll talk that talk. Conservatives will jump on it. Like she said, she wants that debate. Candice Owens she wants that debate because she knows Cardi B's not equipped to have that conversation educationally and intelligently enough she can't give her no squirt and all that shit and win that. Like, it ain't gonna work.
Oh my god, I just got, my ears are burning
You want
now.
me to do it again?
Oh gosh, I don't like.
So for me,
it's annoying.
shut the fuck up. Don't. You can say who you're supporting. That's fine. But when you start trying to bash other sides left and right about what they're doing, I think that's where you cross the line where it's kind of like, unless you know your shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why I feel like you have the opportunity to stop listening. Like,
that's true. You're right. I can turn it off. I can unfollow. You're right.
But,
you're
you know
right.
what I'm saying? I'm a man of common sense. You know what I'm saying? And I got my own opinion, my own mind. So, okay, if I don't like what you're saying, then I'll tune you out. I'm done
to the
listening.
left. Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
I have a follow-up question to your opinion.
Okay.
Do you think that celebrities actually do their research? Like, for example, Taylor Swift, she's just started getting political recently. Mm-hmm. Do you think that she's done her research?
Let me go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my opinion because I'm gonna go with what I think truly, and then my opinion of it. I think truly she's probably got around enough people and heard enough talks, and probably watched some TED Talks, which is considered research, and form opinions or based off of that situation. When I think of research, I think of she's grabbing books from these kind of prominent people that have talked about this for years. PhDs, like we talked about, Corny West has books. You can read, and I know I'm talking more from the black experience, but W.E.B. Du Bois, like you can read a lot of pantheon of people who have done this their whole careers and lives when it comes to politics and read those books. I don't think she reads those books. I think she probably gets like we all do, oh, Corny West is on Fox today talking. I'm going to watch that and see what he says. Or he's on this show.
Gotcha.
I'm watching. Or it's a magazine article about injustices that's going on and whatever. I'm going to read that. Like, I think that research is done. But when we talk politically, I think it has to be a deep down dive. And it's so many intricacies to that I think, even myself who's politically active, I think I don't know enough. I always tell people all the time, I don't know nothing about nothing. And I read probably more books than probably the average person who talks about politics. And I still don't feel like I know nothing about nothing. So I don't think they do that. No.
I think it's different now than when we were able to vote in the beginning.
Right.
Because now we're full-fledged adults and we have families. Mm-hmm. And so it's different now for us because now we pay attention to, okay, so this affects us. Instead of when, you're still living with mom and dad. Right. And, you're still under, their dime in regards to salary and everything. And you're not making your own money, but you're working at a restaurant and, you're still living with your parents. And now, you have your own mortgage and you have your own family. Well, it does affect us. I mean, I've learned with this election and with the last one to do the research. How does it affect me?
Right.
And my situation is different than the situation of a celebrity. So they're going to have a different opinion than I am.
Right.
But I still think that they have a right to express their opinion as I am expressing mine. Right.
And yeah, you're right. And I think that's what my side of the argument spits in the face of a lot of things I believe in because I believe in freedom of speech. I believe everybody should have an opinion, whether it's good or bad, because I don't have to listen to it. But sometimes I'm just like, I feel like it's always fodder for the conservative side to use celebrity opinions to trash like liberals or moderates or whatever. And I think that's why I'm always like, just be quiet. Just let it ride. Tell me about your new show and your new album coming up. Tell me about the social issues you're fighting for, the injustices to dogs and cats. Tell me about that. I'm all for that. But when you start telling me, like, Trump's a racist, which at the end of the day, regardless if I believe that or not, I feel like now you're opening up yourself to now you have to defend that. And now you have to live by that. And then when things change in life, you're stuck with people bringing up that tweet of you saying that. And you got to keep always defending that. Like, so that's where I'm on that one. But that was a good conversation because... I feel like this first time I've been on at odds with both you guys, and y'all kind of kicked me in my dick about this. So
that's what we're here for, bro. Yeah. That's why we're here.
All right, man.
Kick dicks and take names.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe that should be the name of the show.
What?
Kick dicks.
We'll put that. We'll put that on the list.
You put it on the list. I think your name is still better, but kick dicks and take names is a
with Mama Steve.
Take names.
Yeah.
So am I taking the names then?
We're gonna just take down all of them.
I'm really not a fan of violence.